Am I the astronaut for forcing my husband to get a second stream of income? My husband and I, both in our early 30s, make decent livings. Right now, I am on maternity leave and my income is drastically reduced, which is okay for now because I have some savings. I have always had two jobs. One is my main day job, then a side hustle, which isn't crazy, but definitely helps with bills/fun. My husband and I usually split everything 50-50. The issue arises here. I have a decently higher savings amount than my husband. I believe it's partly because of my side hustle. I've been encouraging him to get something on the side. I don't care what, but he absolutely refuses because he previously did Uber for a bit and is traumatized by that experience. Probably your driver, Tony.
Uber driver.
I've been telling him there are many other options and to just brainstorm or be open to it, but he refuses. He wants to live as he did in college and save money by eating ramen, but I told him that's just not feasible. We have a child, car payments, electricity bills, etc. Some additional information, we moved cities because of affordability, and he asked what the point of moving was if he still doesn't have work-life balance. He went from working 5 days in person to 3 days when we moved cities, so his work-life balance did improve. I was always the only one with two jobs. The reason any of this came up is that we had an issue with our house, and he's stressing about the cost of it. I suggested a side hustle so he can build up a bit of a nest egg, and he completely shut the conversation down. He is a fantastic partner, and we split chores and taking care of baby 50-50. I'm frustrated, but I do see his side. I had money trauma growing up, so maybe I'm bringing that in. But at the same time, I want both of us to be building a future together, and I want to go on vacation and do fun things. So, am I the astronaut? Edit. Okay, I'm reading through your comments and wanted to answer some recurring questions. He works full-time, which is 40 hours a week. He takes it easy on Fridays, games while working, but makes up for it on the other days that he's in the office. I'm still doing my side hustle while on maternity leave, but will be taking the summer off. I was initially contributing the same 50-50 for my savings/maternity leave earnings, but lowered it to 30, 40, 70, 60, depending on the month if we had any major unforeseen expenses. I do think I've taken on a bit more in terms of chores, but he still does quite a lot and is always there to help with anything I need. When I say take more vacations, I mean one dirt cheap all-inclusive to somewhere in the Caribbean that would give me a few days of sun in the cold winter. I grew up really frugal, so I'm not trying to break the bank or go for something super lavish. I made him return an iPhone he got for my birthday a few years ago because it was too expensive and I wanted him to save. He got me an Android, which was, in my opinion, better and cheaper. Normally, I agree with the saving strategy, and I am still not opposed to it, but we're already saving as much as we can. We have one shared, very economical car that is well-maintained and reliable. We have a tiny apartment that is affordable, but will need big upgrading once the baby is here. Once the baby is a bit bigger and starts going to school. A big reason for wanting him to have more saved is so we can move out of this neighborhood. It's kind of sketchy, and go somewhere where I won't feel unsafe taking my kid to the park. We thankfully don't have big financial trouble, but I'm afraid we, especially him, are one big scary thing away from being in financial trouble, hence the post. And the question was, am I the astronaut for forcing my husband to get a second stream of income? Are you forcing him though? You're asking him to. You're basically begging him to, but I don't think you're forcing him to.
I'm confused on the work thing. She said he works 40 hours a week, but he only works, so does he work like 3?
He works in office 3 days.
Oh, and he's home too.
And he works from home
okay.
2 days. Yeah. But apparently one of those days just games. So works twice as hard on one of the other days, apparently.
So he has a hybrid schedule. Okay. So he does work 40 hours a week. Okay. Yeah. I was confused by that at first.
Nikki, you were listening to the offlines and forgot we were live. Here we are.
I don't know. Like I'm torn.
Jess, this is a really good point. Aren't we all one big financial thing away from disaster at this point?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
in this economy,
the thing that's foreign to me, probably us, is having separate savings. Like, I mean, it'd be kind of tough because we work together.
Right.
Like everything we do together. So there's no like separate earnings here, but having like separate savings, I understand why you're doing it. I understand a lot of people keep those things separate. And I think it's fair to want your partner to contribute equally and to want to do more. Also, a side hustle doesn't have to be another job. You know what I mean? Like there are plenty of things that he could do and start monetizing that can turn into side hustles. It's basically start some experiments to see which one of those can grow wings. But I get it. I think it's a tough thing to put on your partner, but I get it.
I don't know how I feel about this. I think very big on like work-life balance and working. I mean, I know he has a hybrid schedule, but you're still required to work. You're still doing something. You're still, beholden to your job. But I feel like this is too much, but I just feel like people that have full-time jobs should be able to have one child and be okay. And so it's like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I need X amount of jobs to get this done. Just to have things that provide like
in this economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That like there's, and I get it. I do. I mean, trust, we have 2 full-time jobs happening. And, but like, it sucks that this is the issue. But I understand where she's coming from. Like, she wants to live life as well as maintain life. Like, she has goals in life. And I think that's the point. I think maybe instead of forcing, that's what the word you used, forcing my husband to get a second stream of income, maybe it should be, how do we achieve this goal together and make him a part of it so that you guys can sit down together and figure out how you want to move forward, set some like time sensitive goals so that you can move forward together.
Yeah.
But
I think it's important to understand that OP is fear driven too.
yeah, I mean, I can understand not wanting a second job. I mean, I think it's a lot. Like it's hard.
Nobody wants to work a second job. Well,
but I think if you made it
the average muggle,
if you made it goal oriented, maybe the second job wouldn't feel
so much like a job.
Right. And you're working towards something, whether that's a vacation, and then you guys can take some time away from your second jobs, and then you can have your next goal and go back to it and try to achieve stuff. But
so their baby's here. Like,
correct.
She's on maternity leave. They've had their kid. And I think that's
where the pressure is coming from too.
Oh, sure. There's a fear unlock when your kid's born. Now this would be a really hard time for a parent to be like, I'm going to start working more with a brand new baby at home. Like, that's a really, really hard thing. So, and that's why I'm saying like the side hustle doesn't have to be another job. A lot of people have mentioned like having an eBay shop, doing Etsy stuff. Like
there's so many things that you can do.
That's
what I just would set an amount of money and figure out what it is that you're wanting to do. What's your first goal and achieve it, and then go from there.
Yeah, agreed. And that's something you need to do together. But I do think OP, you have to understand the difference here, and that you've already said you are driven by financial trauma from when you were growing up. You are fear motivated here when it comes to money. You're stockpiling, you're nest building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? While your partner is trying to maintain balance and comfort and also be present, and maybe values that presence and time more than the dollar, which isn't an unhealthy way. Like, normally it takes years for people to get there, to get to the point where they understand that the time is worth more than money. So you just have a different viewpoint here. And I think you need to have a conversation and come to a common ground. And like Tater said here, agree on some goals. Nikki dropping the 10 bomb on the YouTube side says you also can't always be afraid either. There are some seasons where you work just to pay bills, and you work towards seasons where you can now save money and go on trips, etc. Agreed. There are always those seasons of life where like you're eating beans and things suck and they're just hard, and life decides to life all at once, and that happens a lot.
When the subfloor in your bathroom decides to give the fuck out.
Yeah. That like those times.
You don't get a vacation.
There's going to be all of those times. And I think finally getting to a point in life where you can start stockpiling to plan, or to at least be a little more prepared when all that shit starts happening. It's great, but that takes time. You know what I mean? So I think having the long-term goals conversation here and be like, what are we working toward? Where do we ideally want to be? And as long as we're taking baby steps in that direction, then we're going in the right direction. And you're not going to be able to snap your fingers and have the stockpile that you want. You
said baby steps, but I'm like, a baby will do that to you. A baby will make you realize that you're not prepared. And then you realize how fucking expensive it is. Like, you know it's expensive, but then once you're in it, it just feels 10 times more expensive.
Yeah. And you have less time and less energy and less mental fortitude. You have less everything.
Well, hopefully you guys can see eye to eye, but I don't really think there's an asshole here. And I think you probably just used the wrong word with forcing, because it doesn't sound like what you're doing. You're encouraging it. You want it because at this point you have fear. Got him. I got the fucking nap.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. But, and also again, just to reiterate, like, understand that you are fear driven here. He is not. So there's a difference there, and understand what you're working toward. Okay. No assholes.
Speaking of babies, I'm going to go get our
no
go longer
get the baby.
Lightning round.
Featuring the one and only Jean-Luc Peacock. The camera can't recognize him, though. It's not focusing up on him. He's just a blurry clucker. He's a blurry clucker, he is. All right, lightning round. If this is your first time, this is how it works. We're going to read some very short stories, 5-ish, something like that. And then we get a very short amount of time to give feedback on those stories. The end of that feedback will be marked by the sound of Jean-Luc Peacock giving his screechy cluck, scream, whatever you want to call it. How would you say cluck? I don't know. There's something there. That, it's a bit painful. Okay, here we are. Lightning round story number 1. Will I be the astronaut if I return my wife's birthday gift, a book set, because she knows I'm buying an e-reader? My wife got me a 3-book set from my favorite author for my birthday. I appreciate the thought, but I've been planning to buy an e-reader soon. I want to switch to digital reading for the convenience and long-term savings, and I really don't want to accumulate any more physical books. The issue is that my wife already knew all about my plan to get an e-reader before she bought this gift. I feel terrible about wanting to return a birthday present, but keeping the books defeats the purpose of my switch. I'd rather exchange them and put the value toward my e-reader. Will I be the astronaut if I talked to her about returning them?
I mean, I don't think so. If she knew you were buying the e-reader and you'd like to, stick with that, then I don't think there's anything wrong with having a conversation about it. It's not saying like, I'm taking these books back or just returning them. Like, yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a conversation about it.
So books are trophies. There are a lot of people who treasure the physical element of the book more so than the digital. But you're asking, will I be the astronaut if I talked to her about returning them? Here's a tip. Don't use the word return. Use the word exchange, because it's exactly what you're talking about doing. You want to exchange those for the value toward your e-reader, and hopefully it's at the same store where you can do that kind of thing. So I think that's the angle. No, you're not going to be the astronaut for talking to her, for being truthful. You're not saying, I don't like these. I love these, but I'm trying to transition and I don't really have room for books and blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying NTA. Here is the next one. Am I the astronaut for refusing to give my coworker rides home anymore? For the last few months, I've been giving a coworker rides home from work because we finish around the same time and live in the same general area. At first, I didn't mind helping. The problem is that she started treating it like an expectation instead of a favor. She regularly makes me wait 15 to 20 minutes after my shift ends, sometimes without even letting me know she'll be late. A few times, she also asked me to make extra stops on the way. Last week, I told her from now on she'd need to arrange her own transportation because she's upset and says I'm leaving her stranded over something small. Am I the astronaut?
No. I mean, you're doing something nice for this person and doing it and it sounds like to me like they're taking advantage of you. So you'd be like, hey, I don't mind taking you, but I'm going to leave at this time. If you can make it work, then great. If not, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah, I would agree this is an NTA. However, I do think that there's a boundary version that can happen before you just say, hey, fuck you, no more. And it can be like, hey, we're leaving at this time. We're heading straight home. We're not making any stops, blah, blah, blah. So NTA, but I think there is another option. There's an in-between that at least is clear communication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Such an angry squawk. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness, Mrs. Moonbeams. There you go. There you go. It's not your responsibility. I agree. But I think creating that boundary to say, here's what's going to happen. If you can't do this, I'm out. Am I the astronaut because I didn't get a +1? My cousin is getting married and invited me months ago. The invitation was addressed only to me, so I assumed no +1. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend and I became serious, so I asked if I could bring him. My cousin said no because they were at capacity. I accepted that, but then found out several other cousins who were single were allowed to bring dates they started seeing recently. When I asked why, my cousin said, it's just different. I told her I wouldn't attend if my relationship was being treated differently than everyone else's. Now my family says I'm making her wedding about me. Am I the astronaut? Fuck, I don't know, man.
Why do so many people just treat other people's weddings like it's not that it's about them? It's not about you. You should say, can I bring him? And you'd be like, no. You'd be like, okay, see you there.
But then, and that's what happened. But then she found out that
I know,
in similar situations.
But then you know what? That's on the brush. Maybe she knows the other people. Maybe I don't know. So, at the end of the day, it's not her wedding.
So it's the confrontation that's the problem. It's the confrontation of saying why are they treated differently than I am?
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree. That's the problem. They have enough to fucking deal with, bride and groom. Don't bring your grievance with their policies to them. You already know what you need to know. They said, no, other people are treated differently. You're treated differently for some reason. Maybe you can dig into that later. But.
And wedding guest lists are locked in, fairly. It's not like a couple weeks before they lock this thing in, too. So,
I mean,
she may not have been wrong there. I don't know. It's not your wedding, so.
We had to lock in our RSVP for Taylor and Travis's wedding, 6 months in advance? It was pretty far out.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Well, by the time this gets edited and out there, it'll have already happened, so it's fine.
Saw nothing.
We'll move on from that. All right, next one. Am I the astronaut for not contributing to the office birthday fund? At work, someone always passes around a card and collects money for birthdays. I've contributed every time for the last 3 years. Last month, it was my birthday and nobody organized anything for me. I didn't say anything, but when another collection came around this week, I declined to contribute. Coworker asked why, and I said I was tired of participating in something that apparently doesn't include me. Now people are calling me petty and saying I ruined the office morale. Am I the astronaut?
Well, I think would be whoever excluded her and didn't do anything to begin with ruin the office morale. I think that'd be a pretty big morale boost. You'd be like, all right, it's this person's birthday, it's this person's birthday. Everybody throw something in. Oh, it's this person's birthday. Fuck you. I think that lowers morale. So no.
So we've read a full-blown non-short story very similar to this before, but it was Opie was the person who was in charge.
That was a cake thing too, wasn't it?
It was but cake and everything, and it had organized the celebration for everyone's birthday, but when it came to their birthday, nobody did a damn thing. And that was a big deal. But you contribute if you want to. This isn't something you could force people into. And when you decline, you decline. That's it. Nobody did anything for yours. So it's not a community thing. It's selective. And if it's selective, then select to not have my money on it.
Yeah.
NCA bitches. Am I the astronaut for not wanting to split the dinner bill and pay for only what I ordered? My friend group went out to dinner to celebrate a birthday. Several people ordered appetizers, expensive cocktails, and desserts. I ordered a sandwich and water. When the bill came, everybody wanted to split it evenly. My portion would have been almost triple what I actually ordered, so I asked to pay only for my meal plus a part of the birthday person's dinner. The group said I was being cheap and making things awkward. Am I the astronaut?
No, I feel like these things need to be decided before the dinner and ordering.
There's a reason I ordered a sandwich and water.
I don't, maybe I haven't been to a whole lot of dinner. If I go out to dinner with friends and stuff like that, I've never had this situation.
Okay, so
the only time this has happened has been a bachelor party where we decided we knew we were going to order a ton of expensive shit and everybody's going to try all this stuff. So we just were we put it all on one bill and we divided it up among everybody.
But you decided that ahead of time.
Yeah, we all knew that's what we were going to do. We knew we were going to order a $400 this and $100 bottles of wine and all this. We knew we were going to do this.
Yeah.
So if you establish that in advance, but if you just start ordering shit, because if you just start ordering shit and they're like, oh, we're going to spend, and it's they can't tell you how to spend your money. They wanted to order all that shit. So I know NTA for me.
It's NTA for me as well. And the people who are expecting you, they're saying that you're being cheap and awkward. Look, I think you're mistaking cheap and awkward for frugal. I ordered a sandwich and fucking water so I could save money here. I'm not paying for your gin and tonic. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. Especially if you're ordering expensive shit, just because you're not going to order $100 steak, but you know what? When $100 steak is split among 8 of us, I can do that. You know what I mean? So they're ordering all this expensive shit, dividing it up, and the bill will still be less than if they ordered this one thing.
The fucking entitlement.
Yeah, no, NTA. Unless you decide this in advance.
Supernova said that happened to me with my flatmates once. I was a different person than I paid.
I would have paid. But.
Yeah, Tony would have just picked up the tab for everybody, or Ted.
Ted does pick up the tab a lot.
Ted probably tabs himself out. Okay, so that is the end of Lightning Round.